Hello friends, this is Fred with Arrick's Fly Shop out of West Yellowstone, Montana. I'm going to tie you a fly today that I call a Gunmetal Chironomid. First thing, hook's a size 14 standard nymph hook. This happens to be a Tiemco 3761. Got a black nickel bead, one size smaller than we would normally use on the 14. So instead of a 7/64, this is a 3/32. Got some black 8/0 uni thread. Attach that in front of the bead for now. Then I've got some white uni stretch. Use that for our gills. Just tie that out over the front of the hook, like so. Be careful you don't build up too much bulk here, because we need the bead to slide back up on that stuff. Just throw a quick whip on there. Slide the bead up over it. Reattach your thread. That's a step if I was tying a dozen of these or 2 dozen or whatever. I'd get all the gills and beads on them all at once. Got a dog hair in there. Next up, some small black UTC wire. Let's tie that in and run her to the back. First saw a fly similar to this in a fly shop bin. It's basically a Canadian pattern known as an anti-static bag pupa. Got about a half a dozen strands of gunmetal flashabou here. Let's tie that in and wrap that forward as well. At any rate, I'd first heard about that fly about a dozen years ago, the anti-static bag pupa. I tied some. Still carrying around. Don't think I've ever caught a fish on them. This one, on the other hand, has been pretty much lights out from the word go. Both in the Okanagan County lakes here in Washington and on Hebgen. I think the big difference is profile's a lot more slender than those ones I tied so long ago. Bugger. So clip off your flashabou. Wind your wire forward, maybe half a dozen wraps or so. Untie that off. Next up is going to be our peacock curl. Just use one strand. Try not to get too carried away with this stuff. Just enough to kind of cover up the tying point, give it a little thorax. I don't like to use head cement. I find that I can't keep it off the peacock curl, and then it gets to looking kind of stiff and just don't care for it. So I just do 2 quick whip finishes here. Last step's going to be a little bit of clear cure goo hydro on the body. Also got to be careful with this stuff that you don't get it all over the peacock curl, or just flat get too much on there and fly just kind of looks like a blob then. So that there looks pretty good to me. Hit it with the torch. Pretty much all over but the crying now. We got to clip those gills. Probably 2 eye lengths or so. I like that uni stretch because it stays white in the water, as opposed to some of the Antron products just go clear. Anyway, there you got it. Gunmetal Chironomid. Twist up a few. I don't think you'll be disappointed in them. Happy tying, better fishing.